What's good everybody, it's Bro Hamza, and today guys, I'm coming to you with a brand new video. But before we get into that guys, I'd like to invite each and every single one of you guys to go ahead and leave a like on this video. Let's try and get 20 likes on this video. We've been doing a great job, so let's keep it up. And again, check out all the socials down below, especially our Discord guys. I did launch a Discord, I'm a lot more active on there, so if you guys want to contact me one-on-one, please go ahead and check out the Discord. And again, comment, because I always respond to each and every single one of your comments guys. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so starting off with the video, of course, I'm going to be showing you about 3 to 4 Tearlament variants and their combos that you guys should probably know, especially if you don't think the deck is dead or you don't want to yet give up on this deck, because it is really good. But before we start it guys, again, like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But starting off with the play guys, this will be a Diviner plus Fake Trap. So again, Fake Trap can be any card like I always showcase it. And I will showcase another variant of this combo right after. So the first one is Diviner. Now Diviner is very good, and I believe P.U.N.K initially showed this, so shout out to P.U.N.K for showing this. It was the Diviner play, so go ahead and normal summon Diviner. Diviner will go ahead and send Herald of the Arclight, and then Arclight will go ahead and trigger, and this will essentially let us add any ritual monster from our deck to our hand. And then this will also alter Diviner's level to level 6, because when Diviner sends a fairy monster, it changes her level. Now this is very important. Even if you send a fairy monster from the main deck or extra deck to the graveyard, its level will always change. And Diviner is very good because it can send Kelbeck or any of your shufflers, and it'll also be able to manipulate her level, so she'll almost always be level 6, which is very important for an interaction I'm about to showcase. So from here, again guys, if you're familiar with Ohime can reveal herself. Add a P.U.N.K card from your deck to your hand, and then discard another card. So again, this discard, it doesn't really matter. Of course, depending on what you have in your hand, you can kind of go even further beyond. Shout out my boy Goku. But basically, yeah, you go Ohime reveal, grad the great P.U.N.K, a ceremony or celebration or whatever. I'm used to the OCG name. And then yeah, discard the Fake Trap. Then activated, this card lets you special summon one P.U.N.K monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. Just for this combo, we are not going to be like banishing to mill to keep her on board as a disruption. So then from here, we overlay, because both our monsters are level 6, because remember, Diviner says, and if you do, increase that card's level by that monster's level until the end of this turn. And you guys can see we sent a Herald, which is a 4. 2 plus 4 quick maths is a 6. Double 6, Beatrice, OP card. Now Beatrice, from here guys, we go ahead, it doesn't matter the zone. What I do is I like to detach Diviner. It doesn't really matter, but from here you can go ahead and detach, and you can mill. So you can choose kind of what you want to mill. You can choose either Trivikarma or any of the other spell and trap cards as well. But banishing, dumping Trivikarma is the best, because Trivikarma can get you any spell or trap card that lists Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand, which is literally any meta or one of the meta Tearlament spell trap cards, because again, they're all part of Visa's lore. If you keep up with my community tab as well, I always do sort of the polls to see which one is the best. But from here, yeah, so we can banish, we can get any of these cards guys. We can get Perlino, because Perlino says Vice Starfrost. We can get Solik, again Vice Starfrost. We can get Crime, again Vice Starfrost. And we can get Scream, again Vice Starfrost. So it doesn't really matter. Usually the best one you want to get is actually Perlino. And then Perlino can go ahead and get you any of the names as well. So you can get Havness, you can get Shaylin, and you can get Merly, or you can get Reinhardt guys. So basically, essentially, that's like the main thing that I just wanted to showcase, kind of what the deck is capable of with the 1-card combo. And now I'll show you like another variant of this specific combo that you guys can go into a little more depth as well. Alright guys, so now we are on to the second variant of the same sort of style of Tearlament, which is like Diviner Tearlament or Ohime Tearlament. And essentially the difference is that instead of it being a Fake Trap, we now have Trivikarma. Again, this can be any of the other cards as well, just to gain advantage of it. But I like to showcase newer cards and how they interact with the format. I said day, not day, but anyways, yeah. So the same thing again guys, we go normal Diviner, dump Herald. Herald will go ahead and get our Ohime to our hand. So again, Diviner is a 6, which is very important. And then here we go Ohime. Ohime can go ahead and grab us our P.U.N.K ceremony and dump Trivikarma, and then we can activate the ceremony, and then again we can chain Trivikarma. It doesn't really matter, I just like to do things because it's like a little saucier when you go like activate chain. So this will go ahead and get our field spell. It's always good to get the field spell, to be honest, especially because like you can get the other card anyways. But now we special summon Ohime, and then Ohime and Diviner will go ahead and overlay again into our Beatrice play. So this is a lot more standard, except this time we actually have 1 card. So now Beatrice will be able to dump a card, and Beatrice can go ahead and dump our Solik or Suliek. And then Solik, I actually like calling it Solik. Solik threw me off. But you dump Solik. Solik will go ahead and get a monster, which is Sharon. Getting Sharon is probably the best one ever, because she's essentially the extender. Then this will go ahead and get Perlino. And then Perlino will go ahead and get our Tearlament's Kashtira. Now this is another new card. Essentially, its effect is, or her effect is when it's sent to the graveyard, you can mill 2 additional cards as well. So it kind of helps you push. Again, if this is only like a 2-card combo, if you guys have more other cards in your hand, of course you can definitely push. But from here, I just started like play around just to showcase like what it's possible to do. So you go Shaden, we go Kashtira, so Shaden will mill 3. So you go ahead and go Diviner, Havness, and Thingy Majiggy, and then you get what's his face, Kashtira as well. So Kashtira will mill 2 and then Havness as well. And then from here we can go ahead and go channel 1, channel 2. So this will go ahead and mill. So we mill 2 and then we trigger Havness, and being able to mill King of the Swamp is very good, because from here what we do is I actually end up misclicking. I summoned the Revitalize, but I was like, oh, there's something cooler we can do. So basically, because King of the Swamp was milled, and this is a very important card in the deck nowadays, because King of the Swamp was essentially milled, what we can do is we can go ahead and make almost any fusion monster. So what I choose here, instead of making Rukalos, I end up going ahead into our Kaleido Heart, because we have Tearlament plus 2 Aqua monsters, which are the double names plus King of the Swamp. And then this will go ahead and trigger our Perlino, because they're shuffling the deck to pop our Kaleido Heart. So this will pop Kaleido Heart, and then this will trigger Kaleido Heart, where if this card is sent to the grave by a card effect, especially from this card, and if you do mill 1, so you go ahead and summon out the Kaleido Heart, and then from here Kaleido Heart will summon, and then it will essentially allow us to go ahead and mill any card. So I milled the Scream, and then Scream can go ahead and grab us our Sulic into our hand, or again it could be Meta Noise as well. It doesn't really matter depending on what deck you're playing against. And then you have Sulic. So again, during your opponent's turn, you'll be able to have Sulic to send this card, to reborn this card, to go ahead and spin a card back. You also have a monster negate. Again, this card will be able to mill, so then you can go ahead and summon any of your other cards as well, depending on what you mill. And then on top of that as well, you also have a Beatrice, and Beatrice can go ahead and dump any of the shufflers, any of the other guys as well, to go ahead and mill 5 as well. So it's pretty good. Again, so this is like the first Diviner variant. It does provide a lot of power, guys, but now let's get on to the second variant. So guys, starting off with the second variant, guys, it is going to be a Kashtira Tearlament variant. Now again, these aren't like necessarily 2-card combos, again, because depending on what you mill, your plays can kind of vary and go even bigger, especially depending on the cards you open in your hand as well. But again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 10k. You guys already know the deal. But starting off, guys, we will start off with Kashtira Fenrir. Now this can be any other Tearlament card. It has to be a Tearlament card, but from Fenrir we'll go ahead and grab us the new card, which is Tearlament Kashtira. Now their effect essentially says during the main phase, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, bench 1 Kashtira or Tearlament card from your hand or graveyard. So this is where Heartbeat comes into play, because it's not that good of a card, honestly. But we go Kashtira, banish the Heartbeat, special summon out Tearlament Kashtira, and then from here we will go ahead and activate her effect. So again, you can mill. So again, like I said, I missed the mills. It didn't really matter what I was gonna mill anyways. And then from here we overlay into our Draco Sack. Now this is where it gets a little saucy, I'm not gonna lie. So from here we can go Draco Sack. Draco Sack can go ahead and detach Water Girl, and then this will summon us at 2 level 3 tokens, and there's no restrictions up on when you summon this card. So now you guys will see here, I clarified that they are level 3 tokens, and the reason why I do it, and if you guys have not seen this yet, we go ahead into Cherubini. Now Cherubini says is you can mill 1 level 3 monster from your deck, target 1 Burning Beast monster, gain attack equal to attack, whatever. You use this because you can dump King of the Swamp. Now this is very important, and the reason for this is because from here, what we can do is we can go ahead and turn Cherubini and Draco Sack away into our Sprite Sprint, which this card is absolutely crazy. And then Sprint will go ahead and dump our Merly, and this will trigger our Merly. Now the reason why we dump King of the Swamp, as you guys will see, is we'll basically shuffle back our Merly, shuffle back our King of the Swamp, and then this can go ahead into our Rukalos. Now, Rukalos, again, guys, it's kind of like the Negator, the Nibiru Negator, the Solemn Warning on legs, and then it lets you also reborn as well. So it's pretty good for that regard as well. And then again, ending with Sprint is pretty good, because depending on kind of what you kind of push for, and the board you end on, you can end with the Sprint bounce as well. And of course, King of the Swamp can be any of the cards. Same with any of these guys, they can be any of the cards as well. So it's very, very good. It's very potent. It's a nice little cute engine, especially because Draco Sack can be used going second. But now let's get on to the third variant and the final variant. Alright guys, so now we are moving on to the third and final variant of like the Tearlament lines, and essentially this is going to be the P.U.N.K variant. And again, I like to showcase new cards. So Trivikarma, E-Telly is the best card that you can open in terms of P.U.N.K, because you don't have to use normal summon, but again, it doesn't matter because this play doesn't use normal summon. So we go E-Telly. E-Telly gets Yaman. If you guys don't know, Yaman says you can pay 600 life points, add 1 P.U.N.K monster from your deck to your hand. So Yaman will go ahead, we'll pay 600, we will go ahead and grab ourselves our Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune says you can discard this card, send 1 other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then you can go ahead and add 1 P.U.N.K monster from your deck to your hand. So from here we go Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune goes ahead and discards for himself for cost, or herself, and then basically you can go ahead and dump Trivikarma, and then from here we can go ahead and special summon out our Deerno. Now Deerno, again, it is a level 5, but when Deerno is used for a synchro summon, you can target 1 P.U.N.K monster in your graveyard except a level 5 monster and special summon it. Then you can only special summon this card once returned that way. So basically from here we go ahead and we can go ahead and leave Trivikarma in the graveyard, or we can just continue playing. It doesn't matter. Again, we're gonna start milling very soon, so you guys will see, like, I should have activated Perlino to get the Shaden, but I actually also wanted to keep the names in the graveyard and get what we were missing. So from here we go ahead and synchro summon into Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Now you can choose which one you want to make. You can make Draco Berserker or Scarlet Red Dragon, and the reason for this is because this card is a dark monster, so depending on what you mill, you can actually just go ahead and go into a Mud Dragon using this card, so it's pretty good. And then he does have the nuke effect in time as well, so depending on what happens, it'll come up. From here we go ahead and use our Deer Note. Deer Note will go ahead and target our Foxy Tune to reborn out Foxy Tune, and then from here we go ahead and overlay our monsters into an old card called the Zombie Vampire. Now this card says you can detach one material from this card. Each player sends the top 4 cards from their deck to the graveyard. Then if any monsters were sent to the graveyard, by this effect you can special one of those monsters. So again, you can't reborn a card that was already there. You have to reborn one of the 4. So this is very good because we mill 4 of ours, but we also mill 4 of our opponents. So if they mill a very detrimental card, a very OP card as well, we can just reborn to our side of the field. From here we go ahead and mill 4 again. It doesn't matter, but you will see these cards that end up hitting. So I'm like, oh wow, Rhino's pretty good. So you guys will see the power here. We go ahead and we reborn Rhino. Rhino will go ahead and trigger because it doesn't specify a light or dark, it just specifies any of the monsters. So here Rhino will trigger. Again, you have to detach, so detaching the dark is always better. So Rhino will go ahead and trigger dump P.U.N.K and Kashtira, which is probably the better one to do, especially when your graveyard isn't loaded like this, because the only other thing you can do is you go Rhino, dump any of the other names, and go into a Mud Dragon, and then overlay into Abyss Dweller, which again, it's not bad at all, right? I'm just kind of playing with the cards to showcase what you can do. You go Abyss Dweller, activate this, get him early, and try and play like that. So I'm just showcasing different variants of the deck. So again, you guys can see I ended up milling Kelbeck and Scream, so you guys can see that just off of those cards alone, it ends up netting me so much value, because again, you go through a lot of the cards, and now the only cards you can mill are very powerful cards. So again, Scream gets you Sulic, and then Kelbeck will mill 5, so Kelbeck ends up dumping your Murleys, your Havnesses, stuff like that. And then from here, what we do is we just keep playing, kind of pushing the limits of the deck to see how good it is. So again, we go ahead and go Havness and Guy away into our Mud Dragon. And then from here, guys, we can go ahead and use the Murley as well to put the Mud Dragon away and go into a Dragostapelia. Again, you can go into Mud Dragon, you go into Dragostapelia. We still have Perlino. Perlino can go ahead and get us our Sharon. And again, we can go ahead and normal Sharon, and then we can go ahead and link into our Dark. So one thing I like to do as well is, depending on what your board is, depending on what you milled off of Vampire, Zombie Vampire, you can go ahead and link that card and your guy away into our Dark, and then Dark can reborn a card, and then Dark can go ahead and turn itself and the monster you reborn away into our Sprite Sprint, and then Sprint can dump Murley, right? And then from here you can go ahead and just continue doing your play. Murley can go ahead and dump, and Murley can fuse again into our Mud Dragon to give you protection, give you more disruption as well. You still have a Sulic on board, so if you wanted to end with one of the guys on board, you could definitely do that as well. And then another interaction is if you end with Sprint on board, Sprint still can detach off a Zombie Vampire to go ahead and bounce a card as well, right? So again, even if you ended with the Abyss Dweller, you can do Abyss Dweller Sprint, so it's very good. So again, by no means is this deck dead, especially with the double variants and the new other styles of play kind of that this deck provides. So again, guys, comment, subscribe, like I always say. We're trying to get 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So guys, that was it for the video. If you guys liked the video, again, please go ahead and leave a like. If you made it to the end of the video and you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and leave a subscription, because we're trying to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And of course, guys, my name's Hamza, and like I always say, keep on shining, never on your dreams. Peace.